Why do we eat food? It's for sustenance and survival, right? We eat out because it's easier than cooking at home, right? It's hard to imagine a world without Michelin-starred restaurants, McDonald's, Chuck E. Cheese, and Pizza Hut, but dining out is a relatively modern concept. To understand why restaurants exist in the first place, we have to go back, way back to the Middle Ages when inns and taverns began to appear throughout Europe. These establishments primarily provided food, drink, and lodgings for locals and travelers. Meals were often served as part of a fixed menu and customers could eat together in communal spaces. It wasn't until 1765 that a Parisian named Boulanger opened the first formal restaurant in Paris. Boulanger's restaurant was unique because it offered a menu of different dishes unlike the fixed meals served at the inns and taverns of the time. Boulanger's establishment became known as a restaurant, a term derived from the French word restaurateur, meaning to restore. The name reflected the restaurant's focus on providing nourishment that was intended to restore and invigorate the diners. One of the common reasons for eating out in the 1700s was that it was difficult and time-consuming to cook at home. Many at the time, especially those in urban areas, didn't have a stove or kitchen equipment. It was just easier to eat out. It was only 100 years ago that fast food chains started to appear. A&W in 1919, White Castle in 1921, KFC in 1930, McDonald's in 1940, Dairy Queen in 1940, In-N-Out Burger in 1948, Jack in the Box in 1951, Burger King, originally known as Insta-Burger King, in 1953, and Sonic, also in 1953. Since A&W started out as a root beer stand, White Castle is considered to be the world's first true fast food restaurant.
Just thinking about those tender little White Castle burgers. Those little itty-bitty grilled onions that just explode in your mouth like flavor crystals every time you bite into one.
Selling their hamburgers for only 5 cents apiece, White Castle pioneered the concept of providing quick, affordable, and consistent meals in a fast-paced setting. They focused on serving small, square-shaped hamburgers known as sliders, along with fries and other simple menu items. White Castle's success paved the way for other iconic chains like McDonald's, Burger King, and KFC that came shortly after.
What's this?
Your food.
No. I just ordered.
And now it's here.
You sure?
Restaurants are everywhere, in every form you can think of. It's hard to believe that they've only been around for a couple of hundred years. In the millions of years that humans have inhabited planet Earth, that's really just a blip. Trends change. There's no guarantee that restaurants will even still exist in 100 years from now. Look at drive-in movie theaters, which peaked in popularity in the 1950s with 4,000 drive-ins spread across the United States. That number today is only 321. Dining out is as popular today as it ever has been. Why is that? Well, for starters, restaurants offer a convenient option for people who don't have the skill or desire to cook at home. You can enjoy a meal without the hassle of buying groceries, preparing the food, and cleaning up afterward. For busy individuals with demanding schedules, grabbing a burger at McDonald's can be a real time-saving option. It eliminates the need for meal planning, grocery shopping, and cooking, enabling people to focus on other priorities.
Clean up and produce!
There may have been a time in early human evolution when food was eaten for no other reason than for survival, but that's certainly not the case today. Fast food restaurants may well disappear, but fine dining restaurants will probably continue to be around far into the future. But I believe that the emphasis won't be as much on the food, but rather than the experience. We can already see it happening with chains like Chuck E. Cheese, which includes children's arcade games, Rainforest Cafe, where you feel like you're in the jungle, cat cafes in Japan, where you can play with kittens while you eat, and Montana's Cookhouse, where you feel like you're at the cottage. What do you think? What will restaurants look like in 50 years from now or 100 years from now?